Hello and welcome on today's podcast. You probably know him by now. This is Adam, the main host of Ultimate Rave Bingo. And we'll jump straight into it. Why do you not do birthday packages anymore?
Because people are assholes.
Done.
We started by doing free birthday tickets. If it was a birthday in the same month as the event, you got a free ticket to that event.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Not everybody, and 95% of the people were great, but 5% ruin it for people, and I don't know. I don't want to open myself up to negativity for no reason when all of the interactions usually are positive.
Yeah.
So
I think people forget, but not really forget. A lot of people don't know that it's you that does most of it. You've got to stand on stage and host an event and be fun for the other 150 odd people that are there.
Yeah.
When you've just had an argument on the front door after spending 3 hours setting everything up.
Yeah. 3 hours driving there.
3 hours driving there. 3 hours setting up.
Yeah.
Stand on the front door and let everybody in, and then just before you've got to go on stage, having not ate.
Yeah.
Not had a shower, not nothing. Someone's just complaining about you about a bottle of bubbly.
Yeah. And I just thought there's no point because, they're turning up and then they're going to be... It's a bad start to a night for somebody, isn't it? So if we get rid of that... So what we do now is if it's somebody's birthday, we just say, mention it on the front door. And if we can sort something, we'll sort something. We'll sometimes sort them some shots. Sometimes just give them a shout out. Sometimes somebody will wang a willy in their face. Literally. Or sometimes we forget. But there's no expectation now. And then, So 99.9% of our interactions with people are positive.
Which is weird that you say it's 99.9% because not this weekend just gone, you called somebody a fucking idiot.
Which one?
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's different,
It's
isn't
positive.
it?
It's still positive.
Yeah, but it's part of the show, isn't it? If I call someone a fucking idiot, it's usually because they've gone, and we're playing for a line, and we're playing for a full house. We've had 2 prizes already, and you're like, have you not even got a line yet? And they're like, no, I've only got 3 numbers, and we've called like 40 numbers out. You are a fucking idiot in that case.
Does anybody spring to mind the biggest idiot you've had at a bingo? Like somebody who's just...
No. There's
far
lot.
Too many.
There was somebody at the weekend, and she just kept getting it wrong, and I kept giving her shit for getting it wrong. And when I gave her shit for getting it wrong, she looked really upset. But then she'd start shouting out again, and then when I started giving her shit, she'd like be all victimed, and I was like, this seems unfair now because you're shouting abuse at me, but I can't give you it back because you're playing the victim now.
To cry.
So I said something along the lines of, and she was only, young, late teens, early 20s, and we don't really get many of the younger age. You usually get 25 plus. Anyway, I said, oh, well, in a minute she'll be going over to the corner and setting her phone up because she'll be doing a TikTok dance about how she's emotionally damaged by the host of the bingo. But
no, fuck off.
Yeah.
And then walked over to a corner. Yeah.
She did. I just thought, how funny is it that you're shouting shit at me, but because I'm giving you it back, you're the one going. That's what she did. She was literally sat on the table and she'd go, fucking hell. So anyway, and I always, I never stand on the stage and just single somebody out. I only interact with people, when I'm on the stage, I only interact with people that interact with me. So I don't just go, oh, let's talk to that person there. Because, if you shout out or you make a reaction with someone stood on the stage or an interaction with someone stood on the stage with a microphone, chances are they're going to look at you, point at you, say something on the mic, and everyone in the room's going to look at you.
Yeah.
So you make that conscious decision to go, I'm going to shout something out. Then you're going to be okay with the repercussions of that.
In this day and age of social media and all of the crowd stuff,
whereas
you can't be surprised by it.
Whereas if you're unsuspecting, you're just playing bingo and you're having a time, me and you are just playing nice bingo, deep, 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 and then all of a sudden somebody on the stage goes, oh, you there. You'd be like, oh no, and that's so. I never do that. I'm very good at picking the right people, but there is some fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Which you should never say that about customers, but you know who you are. Most customers are great, and I think the best part about it is I'd be very surprised if anyone comes to our events to expect a traditional, serious game of bingo, because I would say we don't sell our tickets to people that want to come and win the prizes that we're giving away. No one's coming and leaving the house going, right, I think we should get tickets to this because I really want a single-seater kayak. No one's doing that. You know, or I really want to go to the bingo because all me and, you know, Derek have ever wanted is a double-ended dildo. Just go buy one. You don't, what you're doing is you're seeing our videos or seeing our posts and going, that looks like good fun to go to with my mates. And
everything's geared towards having fun.
Having fun.
Yeah.
It's not about the prizes at all. We obviously, you know, we spend quite a lot on prizes. Some prizes are great, some are shit, right? But the whole point of it is all of them are fun. Because that's the whole point of the night.
My first bingo, I think maybe one of my first bingos that I hosted. I can't remember where it was. Somewhere southern from Leeds. Not that far away.
Barnsley.
Oh, God, no. But was Barnsley my first one?
I don't think.
I don't know. It was one of the first ones.
See, your van was nice until it went to Barnsley.
It wasn't.
It was.
It wasn't.
Nice.
It was.
I'm gonna put a picture of Ben's van here so you can see. It's now. We call it Nigella's van.
It's definitely a van that Nigella would drive.
Yeah.
No, not Barnsley. The first one I went to where I had 40, 50 people there was Barnsley, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. I don't know.
After we just named Pitbull.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and on the first game, someone was like, "These aren't the bingo calls that we get at Mecca." That was the first heckle I got. I'm like, I didn't think we did bingo calls. I thought we just made them up.
I don't know any of them. Do you know? I once did proper bingo years ago when I was 18. So I've been a DJ for a while. And when I first started, I did like mobile discos. AJ Discos it was called. And then it was called, because it was Adam and Jamie, a lad I went to school with. We started it when we were 16, and then it was me and a lad called John. So funnily enough, so company name survived, yeah. And then Party Promotions or something it was called. I don't know why promotions, because we didn't promote anything, we just went to people's birthdays and stuff. My first ever gig was around the pub in Leeds, and I played Crazy Frog 4 times because it was the newest song I had. And anyway, I got asked by this guy, would you go and do bingo at Seacroft Green Working Men's Club? He's just got to call the numbers, blah, blah, blah. He couldn't do it. So I was like, yeah, okay. I think I was maybe 17 or 18. And I was calling the numbers, 1 and 4, 14, 2 and 3, 23. I didn't know any of the calls, and it was old people. It was like
bingo.
Stank a piss, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, bingo. That was it. And I was getting a little bit flustered because I'd never done it before. And this woman comes up to me. She starts giving me loads of shit. This is a common occurrence, it sounds now, doesn't it? But she must have been. I mean, she'll be dead now. God rest her soul. But she came up and started giving me shit. She was hanging on by a fucking thread of string, and she's like, "You're doing it wrong." And I went, "I know." I said, "But this is ridiculous. Where's the normal guy?" And I was like, "He's not here. He's not very well. I've had to do it. I've never done this before." "Well, you shouldn't be doing it then, should you?" And I was like, "Well, if I wasn't doing it, nobody'd be doing it." "Well, this is ridiculous." And as she walked away, I just went, without realising, "Oh, fuck off, you old bitch." But the microphone was in my hand here, and I put my hand like that, and it just went all around the whole room. And everybody in the room heard it, but nobody laughed. Nobody laughed, because everyone was an old bastard. And I never got asked to go back and do that again. But that was my first experience of bingo.
And look at what you do now.
And now look at what, but now I feel
Lines haven't really changed that much. You just said it on purpose now, don't you?
Yeah. I think I actually was bitter about bingo, so now I just want to destroy it as much as possible for old people who actually enjoy bingo. But yeah, that was my first experience of bingo. And I can't remember any other time. I remember the first time actually doing this kind of bingo. I think I cried in the back room of Prism.
Prison being the nightclub, not local jail.
Yeah. I did. The first time I ever did bingo, when it was, what was it called? What was it called? This is like 17, 18 or something. I think it was called Circus Bingo. Because we did a club night called Circus, which was completely unsuccessful. And lost loads of money. And I decided to do a student bingo Prism in Leeds because I already DJ'd down on Monday, and caused a lot of shit actually. But anyway, and did this Circus Bingo, and I'd spent so much time and effort selling the tickets, trying to sell it, that I'd had this software made, which we still use now. I'd had this software made, stood on the stage to a room of like, I don't know, maybe 150 students or whatever. Opened the thing and just went, I have fucking no idea what I'm doing. I literally, until that point, I was like, I don't know how to do this. I was like, I don't know. I'd put no thought into the show, other than that I had Nigella, I think. Maybe it was Nigel then, but Nigella, Sam Herring as Nigella. And that was it. And I was like, shit. And I walked back off the stage, and I remember I was really stressed. I had loads going on. I sat with my head in my hands. Basically, I like cried. So I was like, I just don't know what to fucking do. I'm so stressed. And then Martin Hand went on, and he did the first ever bingo of the first iteration of this bingo. My mate Martin went on and did the first game, and he was like, he had no clue, but he wasn't crying, so that kind of helped.
He had a leg up there.
He had a
What a
And then I was like, I remember me sat in the back going, right, I can do this better. I need to get him off now. And then, managed to pull it off. And then we ran that for quite a while, actually, as Circus Bingo, and it ended up causing loads of drama and stuff, usual.
I think that's a good point to move on to. I imagine a lot of people that come to bingo don't know about the whole Nigel. We now have Nigella.
Oh yeah, I think I've got some pictures of Nigel. So Nigel started as a club night. Well, Nigel was a mascot of a club night that we used to do on a Monday, big student night, and that was very much like the bingo. It was like in its
chaos.
Our version of Quidzin versus what it became, or do you know what I mean? Like incarnation. I don't know, but when we were doing that Monday
your version,
night, our version, when we were doing, my team of idiots was doing that Monday night. It was very much like, when me and my team was doing that Monday night, it was very much like the bingo. It was all about fun, not about being cool or credible, being able to shuffle or anything like that. It was just madness. From the moment you walked in, when Abs was DJing, playing the shittest sing-along girly songs, you'd walk in there 10 o'clock and he'd be singing along to them on the microphone. And Abs is now a very professional dental surgeon, public speaker and all that. And if you saw him, you would not expect in a million years for what he used to do. And then I'd take over about 12:30 with some mad intro that we'd create, and we'd just play fucking big EDM bangers into the YMCA and all sorts, and then we'd do mad stage games. Anyway, and part of this night was this gorilla called Nigel. And we decided after, like, I don't know, there was a lot of, the world was a bit mad at the time, and there was lots of funny things going on. It was quite on trend with some things that were going on in the media at the time, and you'll put the pieces together. And Sam, who was doing Nigel at the time, went on holiday, so we didn't have him. So we said, we're going to send Nigel. Nigel's gone on holiday. And then each week for about 2 or 3 weeks, I'd like edit pictures of Nigel on holiday. I think I've probably still got one, so I'll stick it up if I have. Of Nigel on a sun lounger on the beach and all that, and for a few weeks. And then before I came back, I've got a video of it somewhere. I said, look, Nigel's no longer Nigel. Nigel's gone through, has gone away and found themselves, and has now returned as Nigella. And she came onto stage in a bikini, and didn't have that saggy bangers, hairy fanny costume bit. That was later down the line. Just had, that was it. It was a massive red like bikini and thong pants and balloons.
I remember those actually, yeah.
And maybe a wig. It didn't look anything like it does now. I mean, it looks in significantly better condition, because the costume from 2018 is still the same one we're using now. But yeah, that's where Nigella came from, and yeah, she's just been around ever since. And the promoters of the night because we did the entertainment, the promoters did the promoting, kind of, and they didn't like it because I don't think that they got it. They didn't really get why is there a cross-dressing gorilla running around the venue. And one of my favourite memories is it ended up being someone else called Ryan that ended up taking over doing it. Not Ryan who went to the Dream Boys, a different Ryan. And he would come in and I would just say to him, go fucking mad. And he used to go and stand on the main bar in this room, and there's thousands of students in this room, and they'd be buying £1 VKs, and all of a sudden he'd just steal them off them, start downing them, and they'd just get their phones out and film it and just be like wild because Nigella the Gorilla's drinking their drinks and she'd be pouring it down a fucking fanny and all sorts. And I just remember being stood. So I'm stood. Room's like a rectangle. Each end of the rectangle there's bars. Middle is a big stage. And then, and I'm looking to the right-hand side, and I saw the promoter and the venue manager walk in as Nigel is walking up and down the bar, wanging her tits around, drinking people's drinks. She was pouring a drink down, a bit like she does now sometimes, pours drink down, flicking it at people and all sorts. And they were just stood there like, what the fuck? And I remember going over and saying, I remember going, what the fuck is... And I went, yeah, but... everyone's filming it and fucking laughing. And it's funny. You don't get this anywhere else. And he was like, and then that was it kind of thing. And I mean, it was always the case. I always got the impression that when we were in that main room doing those stupid things, it was just left. we were just left alone because then they could just go, well, we didn't know they were doing that. Because we were doing like dog food eating competitions.
Plausible deniability.
Yeah, that's what it was. And then I always thought when we stopped doing that, that's why I enjoy the bingo. And the bingo really came off of that because losing that level of entertainment, entertaining people that way, I was like, I need a fix. And that's why I created the bingo. And that's why Nigella continues and will always continue. She's had a few periods where she's disappeared, but I feel like now her character's bang on. She's not as bad as she used to be. I think she's got into it.
She's aged.
Yeah, she's gone.
She's aged. Gravity's got the better of her.
Fucking significantly better. Yeah, them boobs are really low now. And people probably look at that costume and go, why haven't they changed it? And part of me is because I think it's the more decrepit it gets, the more ridiculous it looks. I mean, there's a big click or whatever you'd call it in the boob.
Ladder.
Big ladder.
Yeah, big ladder down, all the way down.
All the way down to the nipple. And I just think, well, if you were going to, I don't know, if you've seen her on TV, which she's obviously been on, but if you've seen her on TV or you've seen her, I like the fact that Nigel is beaten and destroyed. I mean, it does need replacing. I am gonna, but there's part of me that has an attachment to it. I think it's quite funny because I did buy a new saggy boob, hairy bits bit, but they lost it. And that's half the problem, is I buy stuff and them two idiots lose stuff all the time. And it gets to a point where I'm like, well, the old tat, they don't lose that. And it's funny because them saggy boobs used to have nipples on the end. And people have bitten them off when they've gone over. They're just bitten the nips off. And I don't know, maybe it does need replacing.
Well, I don't think she'll last that much longer.
No, physically or spiritually?
Spiritually, she's going to keep on going, but physically, I don't think Nigella's got long left until she needs to go back to for a bit of plastic surgery maintenance.
Yeah, the face is fucked, isn't it? I think as well, maybe there's some good plans for Nigella. She's got her own series coming up, hasn't she, on YouTube? Nigella's, yeah.
She's done some...
Well, she's already got her first Mobility Madness episode where she did 40 miles an hour down a hill.
And crashed.
And crashed.
Has that been anywhere yet, the crash?
Yeah, it's in the behind the scenes bit, but I don't think I haven't started pushing that out there yet. But yeah, she crashed a few times, hasn't she?
Yeah.
We've bought her a new mobility scooter. We're going to buy...
Oh, yes.
We're picking up another new mobility scooter on Friday from Nottingham.
So how many will that be in the fleet?
3.
A fleet of 3.
Fleet of 3.
2 motorised and a specialised downhill version.
Well, the specialised downhill version is going to have a motor put on it, but I'm going to run it at like 70 volts. So, and if you don't know, the mobility scooters usually run at 24 volts for 4 to 8 miles an hour. I'm thinking of running this at 60, but because it was going downhill, it won't have that much load, so it'll just increase the pace. I want to try and my aim is, with the mobility scooter series, one in particular is I want to get it to 50 miles an hour.
Wheels that size.
And no brakes. But that's the plan. I mean, I think it's funny, like, people go, why are you doing these stupid videos and then you do bingo? Well, why not? We're a group of lads that enjoy having a laugh with each other, and if you see the stupid stuff we do out and about in our spare time almost, if you come to our event, that's the kind of stupid shit you're going to see, isn't it? So why not? Why not? We have the time and we're all idiots. Riddled with ADHD.
Oh, squirrel.
Yeah. Luckily, that we just go, oh, mobility scooter, let's buy another one.
Yeah. This appears to be broken.
Yeah.
eBay.
But it's weird, isn't it? Because George is like 700 years old and Brandon's like 21 years old and me and you are in between. And everyone who's involved in it is equally as retarded. And everyone who's involved in the bingo is equally as stupid as each other.
Yeah.
So it just encourages it more. To the point where one of us will die, probably Nigella.
Yes. Yeah.
But the good thing about Nigella is...
Or Brandon, because he is very very open to stupid encouragement.
Yeah. Yeah, he...
Let's send this one-seater kayak down 2 flights of stairs.
Yeah, that was good, that. It looked like it hurt as well. The funny thing was his plaster on his head in that video. Because when he comes down, somehow he'd split his head open while he was asleep. And then he had a plaster on his head, so he comes down, crashes, and he's already got the plaster on his head. Which I'm sure I can pop up on the screen. Yeah. But the good thing about if Nigella dies, she only dies spiritually, because organically she can be resurrected by another human. And if we...
It's like Doctor Who.
It is, yeah. But the difference is...
Different actor.
But look, at least this way, she will always look the same. Her height changes from time to time.
Yeah.
But
depending on the sport.
Yeah. Yeah. So Nigella, she's dead any minute.
Any minute now, she's going to be written off. What else have we got? Plans. You've mentioned some plans for Nigella about Nigella's mobility scooter. That's a mouthful, isn't it?
Nigella's mobility madness.
Nigella's mobility madness.
Yeah.
Do you have other plans for the bingo or Nigella or anything?
Well, the plan is overall is to do more content stuff because we enjoy doing it and it's funny and why not. So we're going to concentrate on keeping doing our YouTubes and Spotify stuff. And then with the bingo, I think we're gonna make some changes to some of the venues. To the venues. You'll find out soon enough. No, I don't mean all of them. In fact, I don't mean probably any of the ones that we're doing now. The ones that I'm going to change, I've probably already told them by now anyway. So, and it's not that it's anything to do with them. It's just the logistics of making it work inside some of these venues is hard. So we're going to, and I want to, these aspects of the show I want to change, and I can't change them and make it better in some of these venues. So you know, we can only do so much. We can only build so much staging at someone's living room before you can't put any more. You can't put any more in. Yeah. You know, you get to a point where you're like, well, if I put one more piece of stage deck in, you know, we're only going to get 30 people in this room. So, some changes, some really good big venues as well coming up, but not too big, because the one thing for me is I don't like big venues, which sounds mental, doesn't it, as a promoter and an entertainer. But the promoter side of me goes, oh, but money's good. But the entertainer part of me goes, but it's not that good. You don't want it big, so big you can't deal with the people. Yeah, I like standing on the stage with a microphone and being able to see that person at the back of the room and interact with them, and then feel part of the show. Yeah. I feel like that's why I like running catwalks. You know, where you don't get that anywhere else, and we run catwalks into the room because I like people that are at the back of the room to feel like they're almost still at the front of the room, and the people at the front, well, you know, they haven't paid any more to be there, so you know, it's just I want everyone to feel part of the show. So where I can, I'll run a catwalk into it to make everyone. I like that aspect. I think, you know, from drama at school, you know, you call it almost in the round, isn't it? You know, now people call it boiler room, but it's.
So that sounds like you paid attention at school there.
Yeah, it's certain things. So yeah, continuing with the show, you know, to venues with like 400, 500 max kind of thing, and. Yeah, I can't really say too much because you never know who's watching and listening, and they'll go, "Oh, that's a good idea." Like, yeah, I mean, actually, funny story. We, I don't want to like this is going to cause. I feel like I'm going to cause beef with another bingo operator, but I'm not causing beef. They started it. And everyone's going to think it's bongos, and it's definitely not, because I've got nothing bad to say about them in the slightest. We had somebody come to one of our events and started telling all the staff, including me working there, that we were going to be working for them by the end of the year, all of us. And if we ever needed to hire any tables and benches, that we should get them from them. Let me insert a picture of all our tables and benches. You know, we have enough tables and benches for about... I don't know, 1,600 people. So I don't need any.
There's a few.
There's a
in
few,
amongst,
yeah. And I certainly wouldn't be hiring them from Cone anyway if I was. So, but this person came to spite. She told people in the queue as well. And one thing about our customers is that we have a good relationship with most of our customers. When they all come regular, and they all talk to us, and that's one thing. Customer service, most important thing. And this woman, I run a bingo, she'd been saying in the queue, I run a bingo event, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I'm here to spy and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, at the end of the night, she's going to us all, wow, yeah, you'll be all working for us soon. So I thought, well, I'm going to have to go along to one of these events now, because if they're going to be employing me soon, and all of the lads, I need to know what I'm going to be doing. Anyway, so we went. I won't say where it was, but it was very local to home. The same postcode. And we went. We paid extra to get a better seat, which at 25 quid a ticket. I thought, well, this better be good. And we went, and it was quite weird. But I think what I remember was there was like a concierge person, I think that's what you call them, or maitre d', or I don't know, so somebody who works in the venue. And we had booked like a special seat higher up in the venue. And this guy goes, have you got a ticket to be up there? And I was like, yeah, we've got tickets. Have you? And I was like, yeah, that's how we've got into the venue. But have you got tickets to be up there? And I was like, listen, I'm not feeling you full of shit here. Like, look, just look at our ticket, it's here. Fine. And I was like, oh my God, wow. And what it was when we was in the queue for the bar, somebody shouted, anyone with a thingy seat, come now. But we didn't hear that. So we just went back and said, look, you know. So we got up there, then we got someone showed us to this box. And then the guy comes around with the books and the pens. And we say, because this booth included a bottle of Prosecco. And this four of us, me, Soph, Brandon and Reese. And the guy comes out and says, we didn't get our bottle of Prosecco. Yeah, you did. No, we didn't. We didn't know. We didn't hear you calling for us to come up here with the guy. Yes, you did. I was like, oh, I didn't. What's that there then? Oh, well, we bought that. We bought that one. I was like, I can categorically tell you now, in the nicest possible way, I didn't get the Prosecco. And he was like, right, fine. Stormed off, brought the Prosecco back. And I was like, look, I wasn't being an arsehole. I didn't get the Prosecco. And knowing how people are with us about Prosecco, I was like, you know, I want a taste of that, you know, the Prosecco excitement that people got about. Anyway, I can categorically assure you we won't be going to work for them anytime fucking soon from what I saw, and I've got no worries. In fact, it infuriated me that this person came to our event and they thought we'd be working for them. But anyway, I don't know where we were going, the plan. Oh yeah, I don't want to tell the plan because they might... In fact, do you know what I'm going to say is, I wish that when they came, I wish they'd stolen some ideas. I wish they had. One of the things that people say sometimes is that it's like bongos. And bongos is great. but it's its own thing. Like, it's different to ours. Because why would I want to create something that's the same as what they do? We're a team that travel around and put on a show. We're the same team that go everywhere. Sometimes I'm not there and you host it, and sometimes you're not there because you're taking pictures of people's weddings, right? But we're always the same team, and we're a touring team. And we're a touring show, and I work really hard to come up with new ideas and new things inside the show that when we go back to another place, it's different again. And a lot of my time is spent creating new shows. So that's the difference. You go to bongos and you can have 5 on the same night, and that's fine, that works for them. It's the concept and that works for them. How we deliver the bingo prizes and how they deliver the bingo prizes is different. Like, you're allowed to have more than one choice if you want to go on a night out. There isn't just one bingo, and everyone goes on and says, oh, well, they're the first ones. Well, they're not. There was someone doing it a long, long time ago in London, I think about 25 years ago, and I can't remember what it's called. I think it might be called Rebel Bingo or something like that. I don't know if they're still going. I think that was the first. But they did some really, really cool stuff, and I wish I could do some of that stuff. Like, they would put on an event and advertise it as being like a builders conference, and they would put scaffolding up inside the venue, and everyone would wear builders outfits. And then you would turn up and it would look like you were going to a builders conference, and then they'd throw a game of bingo, and each time it would be always slightly different. And so they were doing that first, and I wonder if people go, but it's because they were doing that in London and that was London, and Bongo started that and did it in Liverpool and then they did it in Leeds, you know. So, I don't know. I think we're different, and I think there's enough people out there for all of us to be able to coexist. And we've never actually gone out and said anything bad about anybody specifically. In fact, you know, that person there came to our event, told us we were going to work for them, and then, you know, that was a bold thing to say to somebody who runs a bingo event, who travels, you know, 37 different places. So you kind of opened yourself up for that one. Whereas we had, you know, there's another big operator that's really fucking slagged us off once. And I just got his number and I rang him up and said, you know, hiya. I don't think we've ever spoken before, or I don't think you've ever been to one of our events. I don't understand why you're saying this stuff. And he backtracked, and then we had a really nice conversation, and then I never heard from him again. But I just thought it was quite funny how this guy clearly didn't realise that Instagram had changed something. So when you share something to your story, even if you've got a personal account, or what is it, private account. So if I post something on the Instagram, Bingo Instagram, and they share it to their story, I can see that they've shared that to their story,
yeah,
and I can see what they've put. Well, it didn't used to be able to.
Yeah, they don't have to tag you now. You just share it,
and I can just see it straight away. And I saw the stuff he'd put, and I was like, "Oh, that seems a bit." So I rang. So I knew who. I didn't know him at all, but I rang somebody who knew somebody else and got somebody's number, and then was like on the phone with him within 10 minutes. But just being really nice. I was nice to him. I wasn't, you know, me in 2018 would have been finding his house and slashing his tyres and yeah.
Who was it? What did he share?
I'm not saying, but
you don't have to keep it in.
Oh,
don't worry, it's not live.
Oh, it was a guy. It was or something from. And he said, copycat prizes, not a DJ in sight, and shit dancers, something like that. Or I can't remember what he said. It was kind of like we were copying them. So when I rang him on the phone, I was like, I made a point of saying, it was like, well, I was like, you know, I don't understand why you're saying this. I don't know you, or, you know, we've never said anything bad about you guys, so I don't understand what the need is. And he was like, no, well, you know, it's for the audience kind of thing, you know, like his Instagram following. And I was like, yeah, but we can see that, so it's not. I don't get it. Like, I can see that, so you're opening up a thing unless you didn't realise. And I said, but you know, I've been a DJ for a long time. I've been DJ for what?
At least 5 years.
Yeah, 7 years, 17 years.
So that's a while.
Yeah, And I've done some cool stuff in that time. And I was a bit like, I'm a good DJ, I think. And I was a bit like, but I didn't say that. I said, look, I've been a DJ for a long time. We own all our equipment. There's me and someone else who owns it. I deal with the entertainment. They deal with the running of the business. That person is a solicitor and she deals with the serious stuff. I was like, we own all our equipment, so that's how we make smaller venues work, because we set it up, we pack it down. And he was like, oh yeah, I saw a video of you setting up an event in Beaumaris, blah, blah, blah. And he changed his tone then from going, slagging us off to like, then,
saying nice
things. And I said to him, I was like, look, and he said where he was from, and I said, look, we've got an event just around the corner from there, like, come down. He was like, oh, me and so-so be out and about. I was like, just come down, have a beer, we'll have a conversation. Like, I even said, I proactively avoid locations where there's other people running bingo events. If you're there or bongers, whatever, I avoid it. Unlike, apart from Leeds, because Leeds is our hometown, so I'm going to do some stuff in Leeds. And I know other people are here, but Leeds is our hometown, and that's why we do Leeds.
Yeah.
End off. That's it. Yeah. But everywhere else...
Olivia, it's nice to do a 20-minute drive.
It's not even that. It's, a mile from here or something like that? Yeah. So, anyway, he never came. But I thought it was just why?
It is weird, isn't it, how a lot of people seem to think that it seems to be very competitive. This bingo has to be better than that bingo. But, why? Nightclubs. When was that always a case of, you can't do this because I do this? We have a nightclub. You can't have a nightclub. Why? Why can't we have two things doing the...
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine that you can only go shopping at Tesco?
Tesco's here, you can't go to any... No other options.
Yeah. Oh, do you reckon when Tesco post up something and they go... Someone comments it and going, Woolworths were selling that first.
Sorry,
we better not sell it then, had we?
We'll take bread off our shelves.
Yeah. It's mad.
Yeah.
It's mad. So I think people just need to calm down. You enjoy what you enjoy. If you don't enjoy ours, don't come. If you enjoy ours, come. It's like...
Yeah.
Don't be an arsehole about it. So I can see you've written down here social media beef.
Which works well from that one, doesn't it?
Yeah, because actually there was a guy the other day, because we put up again, in fact, I'm not going to mention that. Yeah, I will do it, but...
You can mention this guy, because he's already on social media.
Oh, yeah, this guy called Joe, yeah, that was it. And I never, normally, TikTok's quite good at filtering out comments anyway. Not that we get any negative ones, but it just filters out anybody which I thought was quite interesting. But anyway... I put a video of a box that we'd had delivered from Amazon, right? And I open it at the lockup with a sledgehammer. I just open it up and I pull out two 18-inch double-ended dildos, right? This guy comments going, when Amazon deliver my boxes, it has Amazon tape on it. And I was like, okay. But mine don't. Mine don't.
Fake news.
Yeah, it's like you post something that's kind of funny or entertaining, and everyone goes, and they must zoom and look for anything. And it's because that box had then been put in the van, transported 20 miles or whatever, and then we're at our lockup, and I was like, I know what's in this box. How ridiculous is this box? So I'm going to open it. And I gave the camera to Brandon and I went, open it. Film it and I'll open it. And people were like, oh, it's open at the bottom. It wasn't, it was just a little bit damaged because the box had been in the back of our van. But believe it or not, Amazon put dildos in big boxes to hide the fact of what it is, because it's just, it looks like a dick in a box, right? And it says, there's a sticker on it that basically says dick in a box. So they put him in that to disguise it. That's how they come, right? This Joe goes, let me see if I can get it up. He says...
That's such a random thing, isn't it, to be driving around. What do you get delivered on a regular basis? Dicks in boxes?
Loads of dicks. Oh, that's it. Funny how it hasn't got Amazon tape on it, but just normal tape. Every box I get from Amazon has their sealing tape. Has their tape sealing it up. Cool. That's cool. So then I did a video, which I then replied to him saying, basically, where I open up the a sealed bag, which again had been delivered by Amazon without Amazon tape on it. It was just a sealed bag, and it is a suction mounted Mr. Fister, which I say is Joe's nan's favourite sex toy. And he didn't reply to that.
Has he not?
No, so.
Have we got any more Amazon deliveries coming this week?
Yeah, they come all the time. But not everything comes from Amazon.
You can share another one though, for Joe.
Yeah, well, yeah, Joe can go fuck himself. But yeah, people are mental.
In a box,
yeah, people are mental, aren't they? Like, but I would say most of the interactions we ever have on social media is positive. But social media is a horrible place. You know, you get people that sometimes can say things and they've never been, and I always think that's always mad. You know, I think people write things, they don't think that someone reads that. You know, they might comment something negative and go, that's not for me, that looks shit or whatever, and you're like, and you look at them and you go, I am not surprised you've written that. I'm really annoyed that I've spent money for that advert to reach you. Because you don't look like the kind of person that should be coming. But also, Susan from fucking Cleethorpes, shut your fucking mouth. Like, just keep scrolling. It's not difficult. The worst thing is when you comment or react or anything, the Facebook algorithm goes,
oh, you're commenting on this, are you?
You like bingo, don't you? I'm going to show you 27 other adverts for this event that you will not come to. So usually when they put things like that, I make sure that they don't see it again, kind of thing. But yeah, social media beef. We don't really have any of that at all. Keep ourselves to ourselves, I think. We do our own thing.
Which is generally ridiculous, yeah.
And
generally ridiculous.
And we don't attract, luckily for our events, we don't attract arseholes, and yeah, we don't really get any arseholes coming to our event, and I think that's because we don't target arseholes.
How do you target your events?
We just don't target arseholes, and by arseholes I mean men. Our events are not for men, really. I mean, they are. The majority of men are arseholes. Being a man, I can say that, you know, and knowing men, I can say that. Men get pissed and get leery and then become disruptive. And men are like kids that don't get enough attention. So they come to an event, they get pissed, and then they want all the attention in the room, because what they do is they realise that it's 90% full of women, and they're like, how can I get the attention of all these ladies in this room? How can I make them all be in love with me? And they think that's by acting like a bellend. And surprisingly, that isn't the case.
Does that not work?
No.
Shock.
So what we do is we don't have them. We don't. The event is not designed. It's designed for a female crowd. So a female audience. It's fun. It's a bit naughty, a bit cheeky, but it's designed for a big girls' night. Like, it's designed as a big night out for the girls. Like, get the girls together, come on a night out or whatever. Guys can come as well, but they come in with groups of other friends, and that's fine. All our adverts are naturally recorded. We record them all to look like, you know, somebody in the crowd, because we want you to see what you're going to get.
Yeah.
We don't sell you something that isn't true. You know, you see 10 tons of confetti, it has 10 tons of confetti. You see Brandon with his knob in a sock, and you see a kayak, you're going to get a kayak. And you're going to see an air fryer, you're going to get an air fryer. So you see all the things. We don't make a video and then go, actually, we won't bother with the confetti this week because save some money. Never, ever do that. So you know what you're going to get. So when fellas see the advert and they see Brandon with his knob in a sock and loads of women having a good night out and stuff, you know, they're either going to see it and go, that looks like a good crack, we should go to that, or they'll go, I'm actually just going to go down to local pub and sniff a bag of gear and fight with my mates while watching football.
Yeah, which is what a lot of them do when the girls go out to bingo.
Yeah.
Brilliant. We'll have a fight tonight.
Which is fine. So yeah, we just, you know, we don't have idiots, we don't have dickheads, because we don't advertise to them. I like to say, but you're probably not allowed to say this because somebody will be triggered, but I think it's, in my head, it's a safe space for women to come and have a night out with their friends without loads of lechy men trying to chat them up all night. Like, that's it. Most of the women that come are married, or they've got kids, or they just want a night out with their girly mates, and that's it. They don't want a guy, which has happened recently who came on, a group of firemen came, and the 2 or 3 of them just kept moving around the room, and you can see them from, you know, the thing, moving around the room, chat, girls been annoying them and all that. And in the end, we just said to them, look, lads, you need to leave. You're annoying people. Can you leave? You know?
Just want to come and have a fun night out.
Yeah, the girls just want to enjoy themselves. You know, she don't want you trying to steal a fucking inflatable duck off her. That doesn't impress her. She just wants to sit with her friends and have a laugh without you breathing your beer breath all over her. So, you know, they got told. So they got, you know, they got a couple of warnings, but then they got, you know, nicely asked to leave.
Out you go. That's a good way to wrap it up as well. That's a good place to end.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Book a ticket, please.
Book a ticket unless you're an arsehole because you're not invited. Or if you work at that bingo, because you're not invited either.
Perfect.